Hey guys, I'm going to try to knock out a few videos in a row today, so if I look the same, that's why. I got asked to do a video about, talking about what got me into makeup, how I started with YouTube and everything, so I thought that would be a fun kind of just sit-down vlog type video. I was trying to think of where to start. I guess I will start with, I started wearing makeup and not knowing what I was doing with it when I was like 14, 15. And it was only like pale pastel eyeshadows and like lip gloss. That's pretty much the extent of what I did. I never liked blush. I rarely wore any lipsticks. If I did, it was very, very light colors. Now I'm obsessed with blush, so I don't know where that came from, but I'm obsessed with blush and everything else now. Obviously, you see my videos. My eye is gonna start watering. So, that was just like playing around and experimenting with makeup and stuff, because that was what my mom allowed me to wear. Like, she wasn't really like, you can't wear makeup at all, but light stuff, you know? Young kids shouldn't be walking around with a full face of makeup, and it's weird to see so many really young kids on YouTube buying MAC and stuff. Like, that's insane. But, my mom really got me into makeup. There used to be a department store called Cherry and Webb. I don't know if they were everywhere or if they were just like an East Coast thing. They pretty much were like, trying to think of something to compare it to. I don't know, I guess you could compare it to like Macy's and stuff. They had like more expensive brand clothes and stuff, but they also had like a makeup counter area. And I can tell you the first kind of high-end thing that I ever got was, me and my mom discovered Too Faced. They were just starting their line. I remember we bought a bunch of stuff that day. Well, she did, because I didn't work yet. And they gave us free t-shirts that had like their logo at the time on it. And let me just say, Too Faced packaging was so much cooler back then. I mean, I still like Too Faced and everything, don't get me wrong, but I actually still have the eyeshadows that she bought me that day, so I will show you for nostalgic purposes. Oh, and these too, yeah. Okay, hold on. I have like my super old stuff at the back here. This is what Too Faced packaging used to look like, and this one is broken, but it was actually a face. And that's what the t-shirts had on it. They were white t-shirts that they gave us with this logo on it. So this is, and it's their logo was, "Why be pretty when you can be gorgeous?" So this one is called Trixie. It was like a glittery purple. This is the eyeshadow I used to wear all the time. Super light, like I said, very pastel colors. And then this one's called Ice Queen. And this thing kind of got pushed out because this was in like my backpack or something. But this is just a pastel shimmery blue. So I kind of just kept those for nostalgic purposes. And then that same day we also got these. This brand isn't around anymore to my knowledge. They were called Tony and Tina. Oh, and I have a loose glitter from them too, but it's like hidden with all my glitter. But these were really nice. They were kind of like Urban Decay is now. Like, as far as pigmentation and stuff goes. I'll swatch them for you. Like, I still have my friggin' eczema all over the place, but really, really pretty colors. I loved this brand. I am sad that they are not around anymore. I don't know what happened to them. I guess they just went out of business, but maybe they were before the days of everybody loving bright colors and Urban Decay and everything. But I had that one. I had this one that was a pink and a blue. Kind of weird for an eyeshadow duo, but that's what they look like. And then they had these single shadows. This one's called Cosmic Guidance. This was like my favorite pink for so long because I could never find a pink bright enough for me. Cosmic Understanding. If I recall correctly, everything had to do with like outer space in this line. And then Cosmic Truth is the green. It's sparkle in it. They kind of look like cream shadows, but they're not. They were powder. So yeah, this was like my first high-end type makeup that I ever owned, and then I started getting more and more into it and collecting more. Still wasn't too into lip stuff and blush or anything, but that was kind of what got my love for makeup started, because of those were awesome colors. They were really pigmented. They were way better than like CoverGirl and all the other eyeshadows I had been using before. Because to me, I didn't really know stuff that good existed. Like, I was just learning about that. So that is pretty much what kicked it all off for me. But then, of course, YouTube didn't even exist then. I was probably like 16 when we found those brands. But then after that, I discovered Sephora, and that was just like, oh. The first thing I ever got at Sephora was the Urban Decay Deluxe Shadow Palette. I still have that too, but I'm not digging it out. That was my first Urban Decay purchase. Fell in love. It kind of all blossomed from there. But then, of course, how I got into YouTube was years later. I kind of just learned how to do makeup from my mom, pretty much, because she always loved it. From as long as I can remember, she always had a pretty big makeup collection. But like I said, it was mostly drugstore stuff, because we didn't really discover the better stuff until that day that we discovered Too Faced. So after that, I would say my YouTube career, I wouldn't call it a career because I sure don't make a living off of it, but that came about after my mom passed away, because I was lost. Like, we used to spend so much time together. Pretty much every night we would watch some kind of TV show or movie or whatever, and then now I had all this spare time. I was bored. I had no idea what I was going to do. So I was just like messing around on the computer. I discovered YouTube, and then I realized that there was like this big, well, it wasn't as big as it is now, but there was a community of people just doing their makeup and showing people how to do makeup and talking about makeup, and it wasn't what it is now. But I can tell you the first few people I subscribed to and started watching were Lauren, Panacea81. I think she was the very first one. Natasha, My Eyeshadow is Odd. Leisha X Sparkage, and Cora, Vintage or Tacky. So those were definitely the first people I started watching, and I started my channel not long afterwards. Like, I was so nervous when, I don't know if my first video is still up, but I had like a VHS-C camcorder that I was using hooked up to my computer to get the files on there. It was so dark in my room. It was freaking, I was nervous, so I was like talking low, and it was a mess. Thankfully, my setup has come a long way since then, but that is pretty much how I got started. There's not much more to say about it other than that. And of course, my obsession has gotten worse. Like, I have way too much makeup, but I think pretty much all of us on YouTube have that issue. That is pretty much my journey with makeup, so I hope that was somewhat interesting. I know it's not like this big, fantastic story, but that is how I got started, how I got into it, how my obsession started. But that's it. I have some other videos to go film, and I'll talk to you guys soon.